Welcome to Bartlett Bible Group. My name is James. Today we're going to do a multi-part prophecy update. We're going to talk about prophecies that's going to be fulfilled in the near future. Right now, currently, present day, President Trump ordered a buildup of military assets in and around Iran. We have the Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and its battle group already there. We have another aircraft carrier and its battle group on its way. We have deployed air assets and defense assets to protect the bases in the regions near Iran where we have U.S. bases. There's ongoing talks, negotiations between the United States and Iran regarding their nuclear armaments and their ballistic missile assets. It is the U.S. position and Israel's position that Iran gives up their nuclear ambitions and also surrenders their ballistic missile assets that can hit Israel, and it is asserted that they may have a ballistic missile that could possibly reach the United States. Iran has always been a threat to its neighbors. It funds terrorist groups, proxies around the world. It has been an adversary of the United States for years and has been behind many terrorist attacks and many U.S. personnel being killed on the battlefield in past conflicts. So yes, the U.S. has an axe to grind with Iran, and rightly so. In the Bible, there are prophecies concerning Persia, which is modern-day Iran. We're going to go through those prophecies as well as prophecies concerning their proxies in regards to them in the future attacking Israel. We're going to talk about Damascus, the city that is located in Syria, being destroyed in one evening. I have changed my position concerning these three prophecies in light of current events that are happening, and also looking at the time frame, the period between these future, and I say near future events, we're probably going to witness in our lifetime in the very near future. And when the tribulation begins, that's a 7-year period when God judges the wicked on the earth. The church has already been removed in the rapture, and that happens before. That's my position and many others. I'm pre-trib, so I believe that the church is removed before God's judgments, His wrath, is poured out on the earth. I do believe there is a gap period between when the rapture occurs and when the tribulation actually begins. I don't believe that gap period is very long. I believe that maybe a few months at best. I don't think it will be a year. It could be, but I don't think so. And it all is based on Jesus died in 33 A.D. And if you look at dispensationalism, so the church age has been almost 2,000 years. Jesus will return possibly in 2033 possibly. So there's very little time. We're in 2026 now, so there's very little time for a lot of these events to occur. If Jesus is possibly returning in 2033. So my position has changed. I used to think that the three prophecies we're going to discuss, there was going to be long lengths of time in between them. I don't think that anymore. I think it's going to be a domino effect. I think when one domino falls, the other two dominoes behind it's going to fall, and then it's going to cascade into the other prophecies that we're not going to discuss right now. It's going to be fulfilled during the tribulation. So when I believe it's more of a when than an if, when Iran is dealt with, I believe that they're going to activate their proxy groups like Hezbollah and what remains of Hamas in Gaza. And there's other groups round about Israel that spoke of in the Bible that's going to join them in attacking Israel. And Israel's going to suffer losses during that battle. But their enemies are going to be defeated also in that battle. Damascus, I believe, could also be the next domino that will fall, especially if whether it be terrorist groups or the government itself orders a biological or a chemical attack on Tel Aviv. I think it was in 1996 when Israel told the Syrian government that if they were to attack them with the WMD, then Israel will destroy Damascus. And that could possibly happen because Israel does possess at least chemical weapons. I don't know about biological, but it's possible. And whether it is the Syrian government that carries out a strike with the WMD against Israel, or a terrorist group that gets their hands on it and strikes Israel, but from within Syria. They launch it from Syria into Tel Aviv. Nevertheless, Israel would deal with Syria by destroying Damascus, which is another prophecy that we're going to discuss. Now, I said this is going to be several parts. I don't have a way to edit. I don't know how to edit. I'm going to let the camera roll, and my camera will stop this video at like 33 minutes and 15 seconds and open a new folder and continue rolling. I may not have time to close this out because I'm not going to really keep up with the time, so it may abruptly stop. Look for the second part. When that video ends, look for the third part if we go into a third part. But I'm going to try to cover this. I'm going to try to cover this all at once. I'm going to be reading out of Scripture. We may be reading whole chapters, and we may be reading part of chapters that's pertaining to these three prophecies. So let's get started. And we're going to start with, and we're probably going to be reading out a couple of different versions as well of the Bible. So you got like the King James. That's what I'm going to start with right now. We're going to start with what I think will be the first domino will fall, will be the destruction of Elam. Now, Elam, it is located in the southwestern, it's located southwestern Iranian plateau, so it's in southwest Iran. It also extends a little bit in southern Iraq, but we're talking about Iran. I don't think we're talking about Iraq. Specifically, we're talking about Iran. In Iran, in Elam, they have nuclear facilities. So keep that in mind while we read this. So we're going to read out of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verses 36 through 39. We're reading out the King James Version. And upon Elam I will bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither the outcast of Elam shall not come. For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life. And I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord. And I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them. I will set my throne in Elam. I will destroy from thence the king and the princes, saith the Lord. And it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, saith the Lord. So if we break this down, so Elam's going to be dismayed. They're going to be for a better word, they're going to be caught off guard. They think they have military might, a great army that they can stand against their enemies, but they're going to be easily broken. They're going to be so overwhelmed by the forces that are coming against them. And you remember, God is the one that is orchestrating this, not Trump, not Israel, but God. God is bringing this army, this military might against Persia, against Elam. So it's God that is orchestrating this. The players on the field, whether it be Trump or Netanyahu or whoever else, they may not even believe what the Bible teaches, and they may not be aware that they're part of fulfilling a prophecy. God can use those that believe in Him for His glory. He can also use those that don't believe in Him, that are against Him. He can use them to fulfill prophecy as well. Remember, God created everything, and He's in control of everything, and nothing happens without Him allowing certain things to happen. I'm not saying He don't cause evil, but every once in a while He'll step back and let man do what man does, and man, we are the ones that can cause evil to happen against others, because we're fallen, we're sinners, and our heart, if it goes unchecked, if it's not being reined in by the Holy Spirit, that's all believers. We're sealed by the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is in charge of our lives. He's the Lord of our lives. God is the Lord of our lives, and He can help us not do the things that would naturally come to us if we were not following Him. I know before I was saved, I did my own thing, and in my own eyes, I thought I was doing good stuff, and really it wasn't good. When I came to know the Lord, I realized the things I did was not good, and I learned what good is according to God, and I started seeking to do those things. God gave me new desires. And in this case, this is a spiritual war. I mean, there's principalities that's over nations, and these are fallen principalities. These are fallen angels. And there's a prince of Persia. That's a principality. That's a fallen angel that is basically whispering in the ears of the leaders of Persia to go against Israel, which is God's chosen people. And the goal is to wipe them off the face of the earth. That's what their goal is. They're not going to succeed, but that's what their goal is. So they're going to be dismayed before their enemies and before them that seek their life. And will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord. I will send the sword after them till I have consumed him. So the Lord's going to let these armies come against Elam, and and these armies are going to destroy these enemies that are enemies of God, these enemies that are enemies of Israel. They're going to be consumed. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to lose their power. They're going to lose their military might. Now, I'm not saying every person in Elam is going to be destroyed, but that military might is going to be destroyed. That their strength is going to be taken down. I will set my throne in Elam, and I will destroy from thence the king and the princes, saith the Lord. So the leaders, the present day leaders of Persia or Iran, they will be destroyed. They won't survive this. When this prophecy is fulfilled, they won't survive this. I will destroy from thence the king and the princes. So the top leadership is going to be taken down. But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam. So eventually, the people who had to leave Elam because of the destruction that happens in Elam, eventually they're going to be brought back into their land. But it's going to be in the latter days. It's going to be in the latter part of the day of the Lord. It's going to be, sometime probably during the tribulation period. It could come afterwards, not sure. But there are going to be some that do survive this, that once the city becomes uninhabitable, it's not going to be able to sustain life for a little while. They're going to be taken in by just about every country in the world. The four winds are going to be dispersed into different nations all around the world. Elam is the strength of Iran. It's always been a military. I don't know what you call it, like a military region. In Elam present day, they have nuclear facilities, part of their nuclear program. They got nuclear facilities all over Iran, but if I remember right, they have a heavy water facility, which you need that in order to produce atomic weapons or nuclear weapons or something like that. It's a major part in the nuclear development. And that's located I do believe, in Elam. And if that facility were to get destroyed, then there would be radiation that would pour out of it, which no one can live in a radioactive area. And those that survive the destruction, they will have to leave, and they will have to go somewhere. So nations all over the world will take them in as refugees. I do believe that is something we're going to be seeing happen if more or less win the United States and Israel. And I think the UK is providing some air support, but they're not going to actually I don't think they're going to actually put any of their military assets in attacking Iran. I think they're going to provide like a defensive measure, rockets that or missiles that Iran may launch. They will help take them out. Most of the heavy lifting is going to be done by the United States and by Israel, and I do believe that these facilities are going to be taken out. I mean, not just the ones in Elam, but facilities all over the country, along with other targets that I'm sure is on their target list. But the Bible specifically talks about Elam, and I do believe that is because that nuclear facility was taken out and radiation leaks out, causing people to have to flee that area. So I do believe that's going to be the first domino that will fall. Kind of in the midst of this attack, when it does happen, Iran's going to call upon their proxies to attack Israel. Now, I do believe that Iran's going to launch a missile barrage at Israel during this period of time. I don't know if they would try to launch something towards us, but I know that they're definitely going to target the battle groups. They're going to target the aircraft carriers and the destroyers and stuff like that. They're going to definitely go after that. They're definitely going to go after any military bases in the region. They're going to go after those, or at least they're going to try to. And at the same time, they're going to activate their proxies. I don't believe that they're going to only activate the proxies that are around Israel, that shares a common border with them, or has been in recent years the ones that are carrying out missile launches and stuff towards Israel. But I do believe that they may even activate cells in other countries to carry out attacks as well. It's just going to be an all-out war, How long it lasts, I don't think it's going to last very long, but I think it's going to last long enough that everybody's going to feel it, and everybody's going to get concerned. I do believe that it's going to shake our economies around the world. It don't matter if it starts after the stock market's closed on Friday. It's going to continue. They're not going to stop it during the week to let the stock markets open up and do well. War is war, They always said war is hell, and that's true. War is hell. With Venezuela being taken out and their nuclear, not their nuclear, but their oil facilities not being able to ship oil to China, Russia, Cuba, that oil's off the market right now for the most part. Russia's also taken some losses with their fight in Ukraine, and they had natural gas, or it was oil? It was an oil pipeline that was destroyed in I think it was the Black Sea or something like that. So that was destroyed. So you got already some oil not going out from Russia. China's in need of oil. Cuba's in need of oil. They need the oil to run their production in their countries. And Iran, if the United States and Israel were to attack the oil fields in Iran, that's going to take even more oil off the market. I don't know how much, but it's going to take more oil off the market. Don't think for a minute it's not going to affect the United States. I mean, we produce oil, that's true. And we have refineries, that's true. We don't have enough refineries. We can produce a lot more oil than we can produce gasoline or petrol, as other countries may know. And I don't think we're producing enough oil to satisfy the needs that we have, plus the needs of our allies that we may ship our oil to. And it's going to cause disruptions in the market. Don't fool yourself. A lot of people are going to tighten their belts when this happens. They're not going to know really what to expect. None of us really is going to know the ripples that this is going to cause. So be mindful of these things. If you don't know about this buildup going on, if you don't know about this upcoming conflict between United States, Israel, and Persia or Iran, you're probably not seeing too much of it on mainstream media. I don't care if it's CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or Newsmax. They're not really just reporting on it. Get on YouTube. There are people reporting on it. And There's some really good channels out there. We'll discuss them, not in these videos, but we'll discuss those channels who you can turn to, and these folks have military backgrounds, and when they analyze something, they're analyzing it from a military perspective as well, something I cannot do. But they analyze it from a military perspective, and they can give a lot of good insight of what's really going on and how they see things shaping up. And they may be right, they may be wrong, they may be a little right or a little wrong, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So after that domino falls and Iran activates their proxy groups and their sleeper cells and stuff like that, and cause disruption around the world during this thing, however long it takes, then we move into the next prophecy. I do believe that these are dominoes that's going to fall kind of consecutively. I don't know how the length of time is going to take for all this to happen, but I do believe these three prophecies specifically are kind of married to one another. They all stem, like you attack Iran, then this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. So the first prophecy was concerning Elam, and that's Jeremiah 49 verses 36 through 39. I would recommend to read all of Jeremiah 49. There's a lot more information in there, but we're talking about Elam specifically. Like I said, it goes into greater detail of other things and other conflicts and other people groups and stuff like that coming against Israel. So do check it out. So the next book we're going to is Isaiah 17. No. Back up. I got my notes out of order. So Psalm 83. So Psalm 83 talks about, we were talking about these proxy groups, these other enemies of Israel, that's linked to Iran. They get a lot of their funding, if not all of their funding, from Iran. Now, I'm not saying there's not other Arab countries that also are supporting this, and there are, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about the connection with Iran, the connection with what's about to happen in Iran, with the United States and Israel and the UK and other nations that's going to lend some sort of support, whether they are openly admitting it or not. There's a lot of Arab countries that are concerned about Iran and their terrorist activities and their threats and stuff being made, especially like Saudi Arabia and places like that. So we're talking about the proxy groups now. Now we're reading out of, this is easy to read version of the Bible. I'm not reading out of the King James on this one. God, don't keep quiet. Don't close your ears. Please say something. Your enemies are getting ready to do something. Those who hate you will soon attack. They are making secret plans against your people. Your enemies are discussing plans against the people you love. They say, "Come, let us destroy them completely. Then no one will ever again remember the name Israel." God, they have all joined together. They have united against you. The army includes the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, and Hagar's descendants, the people of Babolos, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, the people of Tyre, even the Assyrians have joined them. And it's also, if you were reading now the King James, the Assyrians would be Assur, Assur. They have made Lot's descendants very powerful. Now Lot's descendants settled on the other side of the Jordan. So where like Jordan is today. Okay. And also, many of Lot's descendants are also part of the Arab nations. Most of them come from Ishmael, but like I said, Lot's descendants settled on the other side of the Jordan. God defend them just as you, God defeat them just as you defeated Midian. Do what you did to Sisera and Jabin at the Kishon River. You destroyed the enemy at Endor, and their bodies rotted on the ground. Punish their leaders as you did Oreb and Zeb. Do what you did to Zebah and I can't pronounce a lot of these words. Zelima. They said, let's make this land our own, these fields of grass that belong to God. Make them like weeds blown by the wind. Scatter them the way wind scatters straw. Be like a fire that destroys a forest, or a flame that sets the hills on fire. Chase them away with your blast of wind. Frighten them with your storms. Lord, cover them with shame until they come to you for help. May they be forever ashamed and afraid, disgraced. Disgrace and defeat them. Then they will know that your name is Yahweh, that you alone are the Lord. They will know that you are God Most High, ruler over all the earth. Now that is easy to read version. I'm going to go to, I'm so much used to reading out the King James on this. It reads a little differently. I wanted to kind of use the easy to read version because not everybody reads the King James, and so many people, I hear so many people, they get tripped up on the Old English. So we're going to read that chapter again. We're going to read it out of the King James. And this is Psalm 83. Keep not thou silent, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. In other words, they're like raging. They're loud. They're furious. They hate thee.